Hello everyone and welcome to FTB Factories, episode 6 this is, and as you can see from this standard view here of our workshop, things have changed. As I said in that little update, we have been playing for a long time without recording because we just haven't been in the mood to record. We've just had so much work and it's just been so difficult to actually, all come together to record. So I just decided that I'm just going to record right now to make a video just to show you all the stuff that's changed in this place. It's absolutely incredible how much has happened, but I'm sure that you can understand that we've just had a lot of work and we haven't been able to record proper episodes too much, but we're going to try and change that. So we're going to start with an update, and I'm going to slowly and in most detail as possible go through the stuff that we've done, just so you can understand what we've really been doing. So first of all, this wall of machines, I don't think it has changed too much. There's just a few ultimate energy cubes charging up there. I don't really know why. There's some induction smelters, some factories, fluid transposer and magma crucible to obviously, make redstone conduits and things like that. Osmium compressor to make some more advanced stuff and mechanism. And then this is our little ore doubler here. Pretty simple. That's where you put something like ferrous in, but we'll show you later that we've actually changed all that. A precision sawmill to get rubber. And also to get more sticks from planks and things like that, and then obviously some metallurgical fusers. And then we've also upgraded these to resonant energy cells, which you can see are slowly filling up, but also once in a while going down. That's because we've obviously been having a lot of power issues due to the fact we've got just so much going on right now. Here, just to give you a teaser of what's going on, we've got some wither skeleton skulls, which is interesting. We've got a mob farm. We've actually got quite a few mob farms. It looks like Landstall has owned his own power stuff here, so we're obviously going to have to swap that over at some point because other people can't access them. So he's got reactor power on right now, but whatever. So obviously we want that on mob farm 2, and this is getting wither skulls, and then this is getting blaze rods. This is the other mob farm. This is mob farm 1, getting blaze rods. Now we actually have an ender pearl farm, and we'll show you that downstairs where all the items go for that. We've got quite a lot of ender pearls now. This is just a basic little stone setup. We've got some water flowing into these igneous extruders. They don't use up any lava, so we're just getting a constant supply of stone from these things, and they just fill up in here. And then the stone actually loops around over to this thing to actually make a lot of stone bricks. So we've actually just got a good supply of stone bricks in there. We've actually got the same thing over here with loads of cobble. We've actually got this little setup here to make loads of glass. So cobble, glass, all those basic materials we've basically got unlimited amounts of. I'm going to quickly get some stairs because I don't like that up there. But yeah, we've basically got an unlimited amount of stairs, a limited amount of glass, and effectively stone stairs if you think about it. But yeah, basically that is pretty much this floor complete. Yeah, there's not really much more to this floor than I've just showed you. If we go downstairs though, there's a lot of change. Not down there, that's just our mine, we haven't really been using that at all. But this thing is a little thing that Landstall set up ages ago, but we haven't really done much with it since. This is a big tank of Fortron. It's actually only one back, it's only one thick, a big plate of it just to make it look cool. And it's just Fortron. I added a texture for it. I basically re-textured the Eulorium, made it blue, and I put it into the Sphax textures. It looks really nice. So I got Fortron here. And basically, I'm not really sure why this yellowite's here. I'll put that into the system. Over there. But yeah, basically this takes power, turns it into Fortron. You can see that's in the pipes there. And the Fortron can go into the Fortron capacitors to be turned into the Fortron that the field projector can use. So that's basically just a buffer of Fortron, that's all it is. Here, we've got, for some reason we've got a crystal chest up there, but the rest of them are just standard diamond chests, just filled with an absolute bunch of stuff. Lots of just random stuff, but obviously it doesn't really matter what these things are filled with, since they are, well, they're just chests, really. They don't have to necessarily have special things in them. They're all being accessed by the same ME network, so it doesn't really matter. I can search for stone, and we still have all the stone there, so it's fine. So yeah, it's not really that bad. This is a little oxygen setup, so just an aqueous accumulator, getting some water, and the water being pumped into these electrolytic separators, making oxygen, which is then used over here in the elite purifying factory. So we're getting lots and lots of ore coming through, from... Oh, maybe it's just finished. I don't know where this ore is actually coming from. Maybe it's just finished. But yeah, either way, that's... Oh no, it's coming from somewhere. I must be missing it then. Maybe I've not understood this yet. But basically, ores are coming in, being processed. I guess they're just coming from a tesseract connect to a digital miner. And they're all just going through this tripler, the ore tripler. And then they're going back to this chest here, as you can see. Then we've actually got, I don't know what that thing is down there. I guess that's just pulling out stuff as well, just to add additional pulling power. So we've got some fluid item ducts that come around here. And then we have a lovely, awesome storage system back here for all of the basic common materials. So we've got all the different ingots, we've got all the different gems, and basically some gems and crystals, and obviously all the stuff that we're getting lots of. And these are deep storage units, and basically these store up to 2 billion-ish. It's actually 2 to the power 31, which is like 2.14 billion or something. That's a lot of items basically. We're never going to get that many, so it's really good that we got this. So we're storing all our iron, all our tin. You can see we've actually got quite a lot. And by using storage buses, which are underneath... Oh no, they're right at the back here. So the storage buses are connected up to the system, so we can access these items. So we've got quite a lot of iron ingots and all these different ingots and ender pearls. So as you can see, our ender farm, wherever ender pearls are... where are ender pearls? There they are. We've got 14,691 ender pearls, which is an absolutely crazy number of ender pearls. It's really, really good to have that many ender pearls. So yeah, that's a really cool thing. Now the yellorium and ferrous go into this tesseract here. Oh no, the frame quarry items. What? The frame quarry isn't on. Oh, maybe I'm gonna have to check that up. Maybe Lance will actually manage to turn that on. Now the pulverizer. This is the pulverizer system that we've got for yellorium and ferrous, because the ferrous and yellorium can't go through this tripler. So we've got a special system for just those, and those are in the factory. So I'll show you those now, I guess. So the factory is this massive thing here. This took actually not as much time as you may expect, because we had the builder's wand, which obviously speeds up this sort of building. It was really quite... it did take a long time, but not as long as you expect, because obviously we just used the builder's wand to just sort of multiply the bricks up. So it was pretty easy, really. Not multiply, but use the bricks more quickly. The bit that did take a long time was getting the amount of glowstone we needed for these glowstone illuminators, and the glass, the glowstone glass. So that was a lot of glowstone, so up there you can see the pulverizer system. Up here you can see something else that I'll show you in a minute. But this, my friends, is the reactor. This is the biggest big reactor I think I've ever seen in my life. Cooled by liquefied redstone. This thing is an absolutely crazy behemoth of a reactor. Now the thing is, in this series, we've changed the reactors so they only produce a fifth of what they normally do. A fifth. Okay? So that's just basically to encourage building big reactors like this. Now we never planned to build a reactor quite this big, but either way, this reactor can still, even though... Now this thing's only 6% full right now, because it holds so much yellorium, it's crazy. There's, if I work it out, there's 81 fuel rods that go all the way down, and I believe it's about 120 tool. So that comes to about 81 times 120, which is roughly 9,500 fuel rods in there, which is an absolutely crazy number of fuel rods, which of course cost a lot. The entire reactor cost so much yellorium, so much iron, and so much stuff that it was incredible. So basically, this reactor, when at max, when the core is full, it uses up it only uses up one. Because obviously we've fifth the amount of power it uses, power it creates, we also fifth the amount of fuel it uses as well. So it only uses up about one yellorium ingot every 20 seconds, even at max throttle. But this can produce even, this is a fifth of the power it normally would produce, 275 kilo redstone flux per tick, which is an absolutely crazy amount of power. So that meant that if it was a normal amount of power, it would be around, what would that be, about 1.4 million kilo redstone flux per tick. So 1.4 million redstone flux per tick would be absolutely crazy amount of redstone flux per tick, and that would require 140 of these power taps. But luckily we only need 30. We're going to use 33 of them. We've planned 32, which and each floor is going to have 2 each. so that will be 32 there, and then an extra one just to add to all the power that we were already creating, just for other things to run. So this is just basically the main power connected up, and this is sending energy to everywhere. So just to give you an example of how much power this creates only at 6% full, if we activate it for a bit, you can see that we're already creating, it's going up and up and up, it's creating an absolutely crazy amount, and this thing, the problem with this obviously is that we've only got one power tap right now, so this is creating already 3 times as much as can be sent through one power tap. But yeah, this thing, oh my god, it's even going up still. So look how quickly the buffer's filling up. So obviously I only want to keep it on for I kept it on for too long really there, but so I wasted quite a lot of energy. But as you can see, it is an absolutely crazy amount of power this thing produces, and that's only when it's at 6% efficiency. So if we go up here, I'll show you these things. This system here is actually the most ridiculous system I think I've ever seen in Minecraft. It's a pretty overpowered thing really. This system is an automatic, for free basically, the only cost is energy, TNT machine. We've got 25,808 TNT that have just chugged along over time. The way it works, we've got cobble producers here, just creating tons of cobble. We've got oxygen being produced over here. So here we've got the cobble going into gravel, the gravel turning into sand, sand being stored in there. And then over here we've got the cobble being turned to gravel again, the gravel being purified into flint, and then the flint being crushed into gunpowder, which I think is a pretty overpowered recipe really, but might as well make use of it while it's there. And that gunpowder gets stored in this chest, if I can actually access it. There we are. Oh no, maybe it's being used up too quickly. Okay, well here it is. The gunpowder goes in here, and basically the limiting factor is gunpowder obviously, so maybe we want to make a bigger gunpowder system. But either way, yeah, look, gunpowder plus sand makes TNT, and that just gets quickly crafted by this laser system and gets put in here. So we're just getting infinite TNT, which of course is going to be very useful when we want to create antimatter bombs, which is awesome. So this is the little pulverizer system. Pulverizer. It just goes into here, gets pulverized, and gets sent into the factory. Now, the thing that Lancel hasn't set up here, which I probably need to do, is I need to make sure that the side here outputs both, outputs orange, because obviously otherwise the shiny metal is not going to get outputted, which is quite an important part really, because the shiny metal is really what we need. That's one of the limiting factors sometimes, is that shiny metal, because you need that to make the Enderium blend, which is used for the Tesseract. So that should really be sent through. So there we are. That's better. And that all just gets pumped out here by the system and gets put back into the Tesseract. So pretty simple, really. Pretty simple way of going. So yeah, that's pretty much the overworld there. I pretty much showed you everything in the overworld. It's pretty crazy, really, the amount of progress that's been made here. But hopefully, you can understand really what's going on. As I said, not actual progress towards like an actual factory's been made. Just the power issues have definitely been solved by this thing, though. I mean, this thing is gonna we're never gonna have problems with power again. This thing is an absolute behemoth. It actually looks really cool from the top. So if I go up to the top, by just sort of using the thing, I'm gonna toggle the downfall actually, because I really don't like the rain. I'm gonna toggle the downfall there, and we can hopefully see the epicness, which is the top of this reactor. I just love the redstone. That's the best bit about it, I think. It's just seeing the redstone flow down. It's just so cool. And each of these fuel rods, you can see, have got only a tiny amount, even though it looks like a tiny amount of yellorium. That's probably a couple stacks of blocks of yellorium. We worked out it needs about 24 stacks of blocks of yellorium to fully fill the whole thing, which is crazy. But yeah, look at all this. This was, I think, 10,000-ish redstone to fill up. 10,000-ish redstone dust to make this much destabilized redstone. So quite a lot of redstone. You've got to remember that it's like 31 squared of redstone, which is a lot. But yeah, it obviously needs this much coolant to cool down these fuel rods because they're just so massive. But it's awesome to see a reactor this big. It's just so cool. And I think when me and Rogers do our Let's Play, when 1.7 or 1.8 come out, we're definitely going to build a big reactor like this, and hopefully make it a lot cooler by having like maybe a ring of gelid cryothium, then a ring of liquid glowstone or something like that. So hopefully we can play around with that and make a really efficient design. So that's pretty much the overworld. And then we come this way, back down here. Oh yeah, back up here. I just want to quickly show you this. This is basically our secondary source of power for now. While we don't have much use for the massive amount of power that uses. Basically, the only reason that thing's very useful is to just basically give us loads of power, because as you can see, our power usage is just so massive. It's just absolutely crazy how much power we're using right now. But yeah, basically the magma crucible just turns redstone into destabilized redstone, which then is used in this heated redstone generator, and it creates a good 320 RF per tick. And when I've got 9 of them, that goes up to, well, what is that going to be? It's going to be about 3k redstone flux per tick, which is still quite a lot of redstone flux, which is pretty good. We were thinking about maybe using ender generators since we've got an ender farm, but they only actually create 80 RF per tick, so you need quite a lot of them to really make it good, which I couldn't really be bothered, so I just used this little system of heated redstone generators. Of course, we've also got the lava power back here, which is also adding a little bit of power. So yeah, we've actually got quite a lot of power being generated. These solar panels are not really doing that much, so that's a bit not quite as amazing. But yeah, whatever. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically the overworld. Obviously our tree farm here as well, and our carrot farm, just keeping us stocked with food and wood, which is cool. And then we move on to Mist. So Mist has changed. Well, Mist, there wasn't never a Mist before. We made a Mist because Mist is pretty much a staple in any of our series. For those who don't really know, Mist is the main world of the first Mist game, which of course Mistcraft is based off of. So we've got these crystal portals, which are not actually in Mist at all. These are made up in the Minecraft mod. But here it goes to the overworld. This one goes back to the overworld, so you can just go back to the overworld, get back home, and just walk through this portal, go to Mist. We've got the reactor age here, the power age. So if we go through the power age, you'll see this is the age where we have our reactor set up. So we've actually got some hydrogen generators set up over here. So here we've got some hydrogen being generated, and these hydrogen generators are being sent off through the reactor age. Gas tank for people to fill up their hydrogen jetpacks and hydrogen related things. We've actually got, it seems that we only have one reactor now. There was actually a second one here. Lancel must have moved it without telling anyone. He must have just moved that, but whatever, that's fine. This thing only creates a small amount of power anyway, only 1 redstone flux per tick. It's actually quite a small reactor, but it's only using up 0.0041 millibuckets per second, which means that, I mean, this thing's been running for like about a month, and it's only used up 14 Yellorium, so that's going to run for a very long time, which is cool. So that's the power age. We've got Endstone Oceans, which we haven't really used too much, but it could be a cool place to maybe get some oil, although we're never going to really use oil, but we can use this place to get lots of endstone if we ever need it. I don't think we're ever going to need endstone, but if we ever do want to get loads of endstone, we just put the digital miner down, run it, and just get all the endstone. So yeah, that's pretty much a pretty simple system that doesn't really need much more explaining. If we need loads of endstone, we just go there. And endstone is used for quite a cool block called Sky Block. Sky Block is basically a really crazy block, which when you look through it, it basically doesn't render any of the blocks behind it. It basically just renders the sky behind it. So if you want to hide something in the air, you just put a layer of sky blocks beneath it, and people just look up, and they won't see anything at all. So your base will be hidden. So it's pretty cool actually. The only problem is that they might see it on the minimap, but whatever, that's fine. Icy Desert Island. This is a pretty dangerous age. This is where our mob farm is. So I'll show you that now. So yeah, as I said, this is actually a pretty crazy age. There's a lot of torches everywhere because mobs were spawning absolutely everywhere. But over here, another reason we did that is there's causing a little bit of lag, just because of the craziness which is these two mob farms over here. There is a skeleton that appeared to have got out here. Just take him down. Ow. Oh, there's a zombie hitting me. Oh god, mini zombie. Okay, there's a lot of stuff suddenly. Yeah, but effectively, this is our two mob farms. Now, when I was starting, Lance has been playing for a whole day today because he's been ill. But when I started playing, I made this mob farm, which is, I believe, a wither skeleton farm. It used to be an enderman farm, but we swapped that over. And then he made a second one over here, which is a blaze farm. So this is getting blaze rods. So it's sending everything which isn't blaze rods into the bin, while all the blaze rods just come up here into the tesseract. So it's a pretty simple system, really. And the same thing over here, sending everything except maybe it's just wither skulls they're getting. So yeah, just wither skulls we're getting, and the wither skulls literally just go into that system. So it's a really simple way, and it's really useful that it's a dark age the whole time, because we don't have to worry about this cursed earth burning in the sunlight. So we can see directly down into the mob farm, which is really, really nice. So an age which we thought was going to be useless at first actually turned out to have a really nice use. So we're using that as a mob farm, and it's really cool. And the good thing about it being an island age is that it's the only places that stuff can spawn, since it's ice, the only place that stuff can spawn is on the island. And since we've torched off everywhere except the island, there's a good concentration of mobs spawning in the farm itself, which is really useful. So there's Ice Desert Island, this is the Nether. Nothing's really happened in the Nether at all. The only thing you might notice in the Nether is on the map you'll see a lot of the lava around us has been turned into stone, since it's been all sucked up by the endothermic pumps down here. So if we go in here, you can see that the endothermic pumps are still churning away, getting power for those magmatic dynamos. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So a lot of lava power still. Might as well just keep that running, there's no reason to stop it. Over here is what? Lonely Island. This doesn't really have anything on it. This is just a random jungle island slash desert. Sort of a bit pointless, but we just sort of have it because, well, what else are you going to use that for? Then down here we have the obsidian caverns. Again, really not using this too much, but if we need a good influx of obsidian quickly, we could put a digital miner down and we could probably get quite a lot of obsidian. Although we can easily get obsidian now from just lava and water being combined together in the igneous extruders. So there's not really much point in that. And then finally we have the mining age, which is the new age that I created between the update and now. This is just a demo I did for Webbs when he came. Basically this is what the miners do. They just dig a massive hole down. You've probably, if you're a long-term watcher of TLG games, you would have remembered that this is what we used in FTB Ultimate and also FTB Unleashed. The way it works, we've got the Redstone in Motion mod, really, really nice mod. So basically what this mod does is allows you to make frame quarries, frame systems. Now it's a little bit difficult for me to sort of show you, because if I move this, the problem with mining wells is if you move them without picking them up first, they just sort of leave this residue behind, which is a little bit annoying really, so we don't really want that. Because it will try to move the entire earth, because this counts as a block. And the way these frame quarries work is that you put something called a, this is actually a frame carriage, and the way a frame carriage works is any block attached to it becomes part of the frame structure, so we don't want the whole earth to be moved along with it. So the way we want it to work is that these turtles are going to put down the miners. The miners are going to take power from a tesseract, which Ollie apparently has stolen again, so I'm going to go make another one. They're going to run down, they're going to mine everything. The miner automatically finds an inventory to put it in. That is the turtles in this case. The turtles will take the items, turn around, put it in the chest, then mine up the miners. The thing will move forwards, and then it will run again. So there'll just be a continuous cycle of this thing moving forward once, mining all the way down, keep going. And this thing, if you remember from Unleashed, if you can remember that far back, it's about a year ago now. No, it wasn't a year ago, it was maybe about, well, what was the latest Unleashed? Like February? So, like, you know, 7 months ago, 6 months ago. This frame quarry, which was about this size, I think it was about 16, 15 across, it managed to get us about, I think it was about a good 100,000 iron ingots, and that was when there was only ore doubling. There wasn't ore tripling or quadrupling back then. You know, that could get us 100,000 iron ingots in about a day if it was left on. So this is a really powerful machine. This is much better than any other quarry you'll come across. So if you want to make a really good miner, then pay attention to the episode where we really get this going, because this is a really, really cool mining machine that will basically sort you out for ingots and gems for the history of your entire game. So yeah, this is a really awesome system that will get started eventually. But for now I need to remember what the code is, and I'm probably just going to paste bin, use the paste bin of the original Unleashed code and just use that. So pretty simple system, but very effective, and it's going to mine some crystals along the way. Some of these nice Mistcraft crystals, which are very useful to making nice portals and things. So yeah, those are pretty much all of our ages that we've made, and that's pretty much everything in a nutshell that we've done over the last 3 weeks. So hopefully you can understand where we're at right now. So the main thing is obviously this big reactor that has taken us a good fortnight to produce. It's just taken us an absolute age to just get the materials to build this. We've had shortages of iron and redstone and yellorium just to sort of make this work. But yeah, it's really awesome that we've got all this done now, and we can start focusing on getting the antimatter production up and running. Of course, electromagnets are very difficult to produce. So if we go on electromagnets, hopefully, so yeah, as you can see, antimatter, if we go on antimatter bomb, the recipe is antimatter, produces, it's antimatter and it's 1 gram of antimatter. We also need to make a way to get nuclear weaponry, but that's quite easy, that's just a bit of yellorium around a thermobaric explosive, and that is subsequently something else, blah blah blah. But the antimatter itself is 1 gram, you need 8 125 milligram pieces, and that you get from the particle accelerators. So we're going to have 32 particle accelerators, possibly 48 actually. Particle accelerators, 3 on each floor, 2 or 3 on each floor. No, not yet. Not yet, well, soon. So soon I'll get that done. But yeah, that's pretty much this episode 6. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you can understand now where we're at, and we will start recording some proper episodes with Lansdale and Max, and possibly Rogers, people like that, Harty, when we're all together a bit more. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time! Goodbye!